At this moment, as the gray thunder within Xiao Yan's body gradually manifested like a divine seat awakened from ancient times, it instantly formed the Thunder Lord's avatar above the sea, directly pushing back the wandering angel, Meikar. The sea area returned to calm, with only the heavily injured Xiao Yan and the Thunder Lord's avatar, formed by the gray thunder, remaining here. Senior, thank you. Xiao Yan, leaning on his injured body, respectfully addressed the shadow before him. This figure was covered in thunder, its true form indistinguishable, but Xiao Yan knew it was part of the Thunder Lord's power. As for the wandering angel, Xiao Yan had originally planned to fight to the death, but unexpectedly, he had been saved by the Thunder Lord. No need to thank me. If anyone should be thanked, it's my foolish disciple. However, there's one thing you must remember. You are a descendant of the Xiao clan. Once my true body successfully reincarnates and descends again, we may become enemies. Take care. A faint hum, seemingly tinged with some resentment, accompanied the disappearance of the gray thunder. Sigh. All this trouble because of love? Xiao Yan shook his head helplessly, then turned toward Water Abyss City. He had long known about some connections between the Thunder Lord and the higher-ups of the Xiao clan, so he could only shake his head in response to the Thunder Lord's threat. Meanwhile, while such a terrifying scene was unfolding for Xiao Yan, other events were taking place within Water Abyss City. Lord City Master, something bad has happened. Butler Tian just rushed into the sea area, bringing an evil figure with him and heading towards the Tianqing continent's royal family. Now, there are enough witnesses to prove that the biting incidents are closely linked to Butler Tian, and the source of it all points to the depths of the Devil Sea territory. It seems there are powerful beings battling within the Devil Sea territory. A black hole vortex capable of tearing everything apart is approaching us. If it gets close, with our current forces, we're likely to be completely wiped out. At this moment, several scouts dropped reports at the city master's residence. My lord, Lord Jixian, along with several royal officials and many missing humans, has reached the dock. They appear anxious, as though they have important news. A moment later, a guard burst through the door of the silent hall, speaking urgently. Go quickly. At this moment, the city master, Wu Kuan, along with many high-ranking officials, began moving towards the dock. Lord Jixian? After a while, they arrived at the dock. City Master Wu Kuan's expression darkened as he rushed forward to support Jixian, but when he saw the towering figure of a dark nether soldier standing over the sea, his pupils twitched violently. Jixian was a favored figure beside the princess, highly respected for both his identity and strength. Lord City Master, there's no time to explain. How many soldiers do we have left in the city? We must head out immediately to rescue them. Jixian's expression turned grim as he looked toward the distant black hole vortex. Is that a person? After Jixian finished speaking, the high-ranking officials of Water Abyss City looked towards the black hole vortex, where they saw a supreme human figure resembling an angel. Beside them stood a nondescript human figure, blood dripping from their body as though they were on the verge of death. However, the aura of fearless determination emanating from them caused everyone to gasp. That aura was one of utter indifference to death, as if they would fight to the last breath, regardless of defeat. He is our greatest savior. Without him, we would have all perished in the sea. Moreover, he has the antidote for the biting incidents. Please help him. At this moment, an elderly figure among the royal family members, tightly protected by Jixian, slowly spoke. Lin Xiao, a 7-star Docian and one of the few strategic personnel under the princess, had come to solve the strange incidents in Water Abyss City. However, he had been captured by Mar and used as a ritual offering. Now, with his strength completely depleted, he could only speak weakly. Everyone, please go rest first. We'll take care of the rest. Wu Kuan's face changed as he spoke in a deep voice. I'll go with you. Jixian insisted, though he was barely able to stand. Xianwei, take my city master's order and go to the mountain villa to summon the ancestor. In that moment, a large token inscribed with the word water appeared in Wu Kuan's hand, which he threw to a tall man behind him. But sir, The ancestor said not to disturb him unless absolutely necessary. The Xin'er man was surprised by the order. "Get going," Wu Kuan barked angrily, and the Xin'er man quickly left. The ancestor of the water attribute hidden family? Isn't he also a 7-star Docian? With him, we may be able to ease the situation a bit. Many powerful experts boarded boats, slowly heading toward the black hole whirlpool deep in the sea. They knew that this mission was a matter of life and death, but for the sake of their homes, wives, and children, they had no choice. If they didn't stand at the front line to resolve the black hole whirlpool, the losses would be even greater. Just as the crowd, full of anxiety, moved toward the black hole whirlpool, another scene was unfolding elsewhere. Crack, crack, a sound echoed, and behind the angel, wings flashed, with countless divine beams shooting like scorching flames toward the black hole whirlpool. Instantly, the domineering and powerful black hole whirlpool was easily shattered. Then, the angel's aura looked down upon them, speaking something to the tiny human in front, before directly tearing through the void and disappearing from sight. Silence. When this scene appeared in their eyes, the entire sea area fell silent. What was supposed to be a death trap, where they thought there would be no chance of survival, had turned out to be completely different. To their shock, this tiny human had actually repelled the angel. Whatever the reason, this person had driven back the angel and even forced the angel to erase the black hole whirlpool. They all saw it with their own eyes. He was the hero of Water Abyss City. Ancestor, what is this? At the same time, looking at the bloodied figure above the sea, Wu Kuan spoke to an elderly man beside him. Being able to repel a wandering angel. I have never seen such a thing in my life. Go and bring him back. He indeed carries the antidote. Let him be recognized as a hero of Water Abyss City. A majestic voice, like an unquestionable command, resonated in everyone's heart. Yes. Excited and passionate voices echoed in response. Cough, cough, cough. Am I at my limit? Xiao Yan floated in the air. With the collapse of the Devil's Nest, the void restriction of the sea had been undone, but Xiao Yan's aura was extremely weak, his body on the verge of collapse. Boom, boom, boom. Lord Xiao Yan. Just as Xiao Yan struggled, comforting voices, accompanied by the majestic body of the dark nether soldier, entered his vision. It's fine. He's just temporarily unconscious. Let's go back. After carefully examining Xiao Yan's body, the group swiftly returned to Water Abyss City. Thanks to the antidote from the dark nether soldier and the intelligence from Jixin, Xiao Yan's identity quickly gained immense respect from the citizens of Water Abyss City. Surviving a life-or-death mission in the Devil's Hole, fighting the angel to buy time. He could have retreated but stood his ground, becoming the first person in history to achieve this. Far away, at the former site of the ferocious soul domain's divine hall. Hoo-hoo. A towering gray throne stood in the midst of gray thunder, which seemed to welcome the true king's return, silently kneeling at the four corners of the divine hall. Swish, swish. The thunder shook as if turning into a blurry shadow, standing in the void. Meanwhile, the figures seated on the throne slightly opened their eyes. Duan Qifei, the phantom of the Thunder Lord. Since you all left the Thunder Tomb, there has been a trace of my aura in his body. The recent danger has been resolved as per your instructions. The Thunder Lord's phantom spoke softly. Hoo-hoo. Thank you, Master. Hearing the words of the Thunder Lord's phantom, Duan Qifei sighed in relief as she sat on the throne. Soon, you will be completely reincarnated, and I will also succeed in my reincarnation. At that time, the Thunder Emperor's sacred tome will appear on him again. The Thunder Lord's phantom continued. Master, let it begin. I need power to protect certain things. As the words fell, silence once again enveloped the space. However, Duan Qifei's inner strength grew stronger, and the reincarnation patterns became brilliantly radiant. Once the reincarnation was complete, Duan Qifei would possess all the powers of the Thunder Lord. The Thunder Lord, too, would be reborn, and the two would stand as the ultimate powerhouses at the peak. Of course, that was all for the future. Meanwhile, in Water Abyss City on Tianqing Continent, since Xiao Yan fell unconscious, He had been placed under the care of Wu Kuan and others in the city master's mansion. They watched over him day and night, fearing any harm. Thanks to the antidote from the Dark Nether Soldier and Ji Xian's explanation, the Bite incident and Butler Tion's wrongdoings were completely exposed. Butler Tion had used his position to secretly imprison visitors to Water Abyss City, sending them to the Devil's Nest for demonic experiments, working as an accomplice for the Sin Envoy Mar. But now the truth had come to light, and Xiao Yan's heroism resounded throughout Water Abyss City. This guy has been unconscious for a whole month. The election for the 3 candidates will begin in just 10 days. It takes at least 3 days to get from Water Abyss City to Tianqing City, and at this rate, we'll run out of time. In the City Master's Hall, Wu Kuan paced anxiously, deeply concerned for Xiao Yan's situation. Please don't worry, City Master. Young friend Xiao Yan's injuries are no longer life-threatening. It's just that he's still unconscious, and we don't know why. A doctor quickly spoke up from the crowd. Forget it. Everyone, please return to Tianqing City. With your help, we can rest assured about the princess's safety. As for Lord Xiao Yan, I will wait for him to wake up and return with him. As the hall filled with a crowd of people, Ji Xian stood up and spoke. Hee, sorry to have caused you all concern. Just as the crowd was discussing, a carefree laugh, like a gentle breeze after the rain, echoed through the hall. Little guy, you did well this time. Many powerful figures, including the royal officials such as 7-star Docian Lin Xiao and the Lord of the City, watched Xiao Yan walk in unscathed. A smile appeared on their faces, their hearts settled. Pure luck, that's all. Xiao Yan smiled faintly as he looked at the strong figures present. Not arrogant, not rash. This boy is no ordinary person. Lin Xiao, observing Xiao Yan's demeanor, was secretly surprised. The fact that he was able to repel the angel showed that either his strength was extraordinary or someone powerful was backing him. His conduct was humble and composed. This person would certainly achieve great things in the future. Now that the matter in Water Abyss City has been perfectly resolved, I wonder what plans everyone has? Xiao Yan walked over to his seat and spoke. There's still 10 days before the election begins. We'll spend 3 days traveling, leaving us with 7 days. In these 7 days, the 3 major factions will engage in their final struggle. I believe the other 2 candidates will stop at nothing to send strong warriors to kill the princess, as the election is built on the 3 of them. If any one of them falls, their forces will likely collapse in an instant. Ji Xian smiled at Xiao Yan and stood up to explain. Oh. Xiao Yan was slightly surprised when he heard this. Lord Ji Xian is the princess's personal bodyguard. The 2 of them have been involved for a long time, Lin Xiao explained when he saw Xiao Yan's puzzled look. I see now, Xiao Yan said, understanding. So, after we return, I intend to have Lord Xiao Yan protect the princess, Ji Xian said, looking expectantly at Xiao Yan. Through Xiao Yan's actions in the Devil's Nest, Ji Xian had been completely won over, and only by having Xiao Yan protect the person he loved most could he feel at ease about facing the enemy. And what about you? Xiao Yan asked, sensing a decisive undertone in Ji Xian's words. I will assassinate the other 2 princes. Whether I succeed or not, I must create some pressure on them, Ji Xian said, taking a deep breath and speaking slowly. Protecting someone is not something I can do, so it's up to you. Give me the information on the 2 princes, and I will personally take action to eliminate one. Even if I fail, it should be enough to disrupt their plans. After speaking, Xiao Yan turned and walked away, heading towards his quarters. Lord Xiao Yan, thank you. Hearing Xiao Yan's casual words, Ji Xian's eyes grew moist again. Assassination missions were always life-threatening, but to ensure the princess's success in the election, Ji Xian had no choice. Xiao Yan's actions deeply moved him, and later, when the Boundless Fire Domain faced great peril, Ji Xian and his wife were the first to resist. However, Ji Xian did not know that Xiao Yan was actually after the demon fruit, as his suspicions led him to believe that Jiao Ma and Butler Tian might be targeting the 2 princes. Tomorrow morning, we depart. With one last word, Xiao Yan disappeared. Everyone, go back and rest well today, Ji Xian said with a carefree smile. Phew, I really got lucky this time. Xiao Yan returned to his quarters, set up a soul barrier, and sat cross-legged on his bed, carefully inspecting his body. After this battle, Xiao Yan's strength had risen to the late stage of 5-star Docian, and he had even obtained valuable information, including a dark nether soldier powerful enough to rival an early-stage 8-star Docian, and the fact that the ancient ruler of heavenly flames could evolve into an artifact. However, the Tuasha ancient emperor's appearance was brief, and his memory was incomplete. As a result, Xiao Yan was still unclear on how the ancient ruler of heavenly flames could evolve. Let me properly adjust the energy within my body. After the election is over, I can focus on the undying flame. Once I combine the undying fire and the undying flame, I should be able to reach the peak of immortality. Xiao Yan muttered to himself, standing on the bed and beginning his cultivation. The energy within his body began to slowly circulate. Despite being at the late stage of 5-star Docian, Xiao Yan's power was already enough to rival an early-stage 6-star Docian just in terms of the energy in his Do core. At this moment, the second green would attribute Do core in Xiao Yan's body slowly spun. The next day, Xiao Yan and the others prepared to depart. After bidding farewell to Water Abyss City, they marched towards Tianqing City and the Heavenly Source Mountain Range through a secret passage. Over the course of the next 3 days, Tianqing City was in turmoil. The reason for this was simple. In 10 days, the final election would take place. Once the election was over and the new emperor of Tianqing continent was chosen, the two losing candidates would likely meet an unfortunate end. Therefore, at this moment, fear gripped the hearts of the people throughout the numerous mountain ranges surrounding Tianqing City. In the Heavenly Source Mountain Range, in the Sea of Flowers where Princess Lin Yunshu resided, the entire garden was covered in vibrant blooms. The air was thick with the intoxicating fragrance of countless fresh flowers, their scent almost overwhelming. At the end of the flower-lined corridor, several figures with sharp auras appeared one after another. Your Highness, Lin Yunshu was surrounded by several powerful experts, but they remained silent, standing quietly by her side and watching her. Lin Shuang, who was always by her side, appeared to be hiding something, with a subtle air of unease. At present, the Heavenly Source Mountain Range had gathered the most elite forces. With the actions of Xiao Yan and the princess in the past, these individuals were now firmly aligned with the princess. They understood that they all rose and fell together, and betrayal was out of the question. Speak, Princess Lin Yunshu said, her voice calm. She was wearing a delicate blue robe that accentuated her noble aura, and her beauty shone through effortlessly. The elite were summoned today for the most important task to come. Scouts from the front lines have brought news. Lord Ji Xian has sent word. Lin Shuang hesitated before speaking. She had accompanied the princess for a long time and had witnessed many things between her and Ji Xian, so she was well aware of the delicate relationship between the two. What news? Princess Lin Yunshu's usually composed face suddenly changed dramatically, her emotions fluctuating intensely. The flowers around her trembled, and above the bright sea of flowers, an almost imperceptible starry map appeared, faintly visible. If that power were fully unleashed, even a 7-star Do Xian would tremble before it. Lord Ji Xian is unharmed. It is said that a human named Xiao Yan accompanied him and dealt with all the hidden dangers in Water Abyss City. They are now bringing Master Lin Xiao back with them. At this moment, an elderly man with silver hair walked gracefully through the sea of flowers and spoke softly. Old Lin. Hearing this, Lin Yunshu gracefully bowed her head to the elder in acknowledgement. With just 10 days left until the final election, I will stay by your side and not leave, Your Highness. I hope you understand our good intentions, the elderly man said. Though a woman of middle age, her eyes carried a chilling and imposing presence that spoke of a lifetime of experience. The elder was a late 7-star Do Xian expert, Lin Xia, known as the protector of the Heavenly Source Mountain Range. She had once fought alongside the current emperor, a true powerhouse whose seniority and strength far surpassed Lin Hong, a former 7-star Do Xian in the early stages. Lin Yunshu nodded, understanding the importance of the situation, and did not linger on the matter. But I fear the other two candidates are already losing their patience. From what I know, Lin Feng's subordinates have received support from the Holy See, making them the most formidable of the 3 candidates. However, Lin Fengya's actions are rather suspicious. When the disaster struck Water Abyss City, he personally led a group of powerful individuals away from Tianqing City. He claimed to be going to investigate, but he only made it halfway before returning to the mountains, as if he had received some mysterious instructions, Lin Xia continued. At this moment, the surrounding experts, including Lin Hong, a former 7-star Docian, Lin Hao, and Lin Shuang, all gathered to analyze the situation. Lin Hao, go and bring Xiao Yan to me. Together, you will strike at Lin Fengya. Even if you cannot succeed, create some pressure on him, Lin Yunshu said, her gaze shifting thoughtfully. She knew well the integrity of both Jixian and Xiao Yan. Understood. Following the princess's orders, the elite forces dispersed, leaving only Lin Yunshu and Lin Xia behind. Seems like the princess has noticed something, Lin Xia murmured, her sharp eyes scanning the area one last time to confirm that no one else was present in the Flower Sea. The situation in Water Abyss City doesn't seem that simple, does it? Lin Yunshu asked cautiously. Indeed. Only a few know that behind Water Abyss City lies the conspiracy of 5th Sin Warden Mar and the Holy Sea's roaming angels. However, Xiao Yan single-handedly uncovered it all. Therefore, the seemingly harmless Lin Fengya is probably the most terrifying one. However, if Lin Feng has the support of the angels, our chances of victory might. Lin Yunshu shook her head. Clearly, their current strength was not enough to contend with the angels. After all, even the weakest angel must possess the power of a 7-star Docian at the very least. But angels are different from humans. Even a 7-star Docian level, with the help of angel wings, could compete with an 8-star Docian. And when the angel's power is enhanced by their wings, their strength becomes even more terrifying. Don't worry. If it's a 7-star Docian level angel, we should still be able to handle it. But if it's an 8-star, she probably won't dare appear in our Tianqing continent's airspace. The situation in Water Abyss City was concealed because it's deep within the sea, masking its energy aura. But if she shows up in our continent's airspace, it's a completely different story. That's because the Dodi 4 continents restrictions on us in Tianqing continent are in place. It's impossible for an 8-star Docian to appear on Tianqing continent. Otherwise, it would attract the intervention of the enforcers from the Dodi continent. Even angels wouldn't escape unscathed, Lin Xia said, as calm returned to the atmosphere. Elsewhere, within the Tiansha mountain range. With the arrival of Lord Meyer, the roaming angel, this election will definitely be a success. Afterward, our Tianqing continent will fully submit to the Holy See, Lin Feng said with a grin, addressing a graceful figure before him. Tianqing continent has restrictions. My power can only release up to the full 7-star Docian level, and I'll only act if Jiama appears. Otherwise, take care of yourself, Meyer said lightly before vanishing back into her room. A mere roaming angel. She'll be crushed beneath my feet sooner or later. Lin Feng's expression shifted from a grin to a menacing snarl, filled with a chilling, deathly aura. Lastly, within the Tianxian mountain range, Lord Jiama and Lord Sol Wuji have been arranged. However, these two seem a bit off. A man, shrouded in shadows, respectfully spoke to Lin Fengya, who sat in a wheelchair at the edge of a cliff. Keep an eye on them. The 8-star Docian of Soul Flame has already left, but Sol Wuji is the Yellow Hall Master of Soul Hall, and his full 7-star Docian power is more than enough to be a trump card in this election. Also, keep an eye on Jiama. He might be disturbed due to the Devil's Nest incident. Prepare for the worst. If things can't be controlled, I'll have to use this election ceremony as my demonic ascension ritual. Understood, Prince. Two figures nodded, and the area fell silent once more. Father, the illness you have, I've specially arranged for you. In the future, when Tianqing continent is under my control, a greater era will surely emerge. With that, Lin Fengya stood up from his wheelchair. A dark green demonic aura swirled slowly around his ankles. 3 days passed in the blink of an eye. Tianqing continent seemed calm, but hidden danger lurked beneath the surface. Meanwhile, Xiao Yan and the others quietly arrived at a secret passage near Tianqing City. Is that Lord Xiao Yan? As the passage moved, dozens of figures emerged, with Lin Hao asking the group. Let's go, Xiao Yan responded lightly, then smiled, stepping forward and waving to Jixian and the others. During their 3 days in the passage, Xiao Yan had gathered some understanding of the other two election candidates. Lin Feng probably had the Holy See's support, plus his mastery over the elite forces of the war faction. His combat strength was the strongest of the three. As for Lin Fengya, he didn't seem to have any advantages, but Xiao Yan deduced from their intel that Lin Fengya might have connections with Soul Hall and the Sin, and his low profile made him not to be underestimated. Xiao Yan, until we meet again. Ji Xian and the others knew the weight of their responsibilities and didn't linger, clenching their fists before parting ways. Lord Xiao Yan, the princess asked me to cooperate with you. But now that Prince Lin Feng and Prince Lin Fengya are both present, we could go to one of them. What do you think? Lin Hao asked, carefully observing Xiao Yan. Let's go to Tianxian Mountain Range and cause some trouble for Lin Fengya. Xiao Yan smiled slightly. But he had many doubts about this assassination plan. It was impossible for regular 5-star and 6-star Do Xian to surround and kill a prince protected by a 7-star Do Xian. The plan, on the surface, seemed like an assassination, but there was likely something more to it. Lin Fengya had a good reputation, but from the conversations Xiao Yan overheard from Ji Xian and the others, it seemed that Lin Fengya was the most troublesome of the three. The two remaining demon fruits, one fully matured and the other half-matured, are both in Jiama's possession, and Xiao Yan is determined to obtain them at all costs. The power of demons is undeniably evil, but the immense strength it contains is even more terrifying than sacred flame. What's most unsettling is that Xiao Yan's intuition tells him that the demon power seems to originate from the Netherworld. Additionally, with Xiao Yan's knowledge of the 10 Yama Kings and their dark powers, he boldly speculates that there's a deep connection between the Netherworld and the Xiao clan. The demon fruit might be the key to entering the Netherworld. If he can obtain it, he believes that when the 100-year appointment comes, all the secrets of the Xiao clan will be revealed. Let's go. As Xiao Yan spoke, Lin Hao smiled calmly, and the two quickly disguised themselves as ordinary citizens before heading toward the Heavenly Abyss mountain range. Their speed was incredible, and even though the area was heavily guarded, Lin Hao's meticulous planning allowed them to reach the summit of the Heavenly Abyss mountain range in just half a day. Immortal-grade pills, come take a look. Divine weapons and tools, the perfect talisman to defend against magical beasts and enemies, don't miss it. They easily bypassed the many defenses of the Heavenly Abyss mountain range and blended into Heavenly Abyss City. It was midday, the sun blazing down, and the streets were bustling with people. Voices calling out could be heard constantly. Is Lin Fengya a cripple? Xiao Yan asked Lin Hao using his soul power. Yes, but no one knows why. Since the emperor fell ill, it was said that Lin Fengya himself spread the word, and many in the royal court have seen him. It's said to be true. Lin Hao was unsure why Xiao Yan asked. This is the heart of the Heavenly Abyss mountain range, and Lin Fengya's mansion is right in the city center. This feels strange. Xiao Yan didn't respond to Lin Hao, instead looking up at the grand golden mansion at the city's center. Something about it didn't feel right. The mansion exuded danger, but it also had an eerie, lifeless air, as though it was sick. Xiao Yan had seen something similar in the Devil's Nest, so he hesitated. Forget it, let's sneak in and see. If things don't look right, we'll make our move then. Lin Hao responded. Wait, I'll go in. You stay outside to back me up, Xiao Yan said after some time, his eyes shifting between Lin Hao and the mansion. But your power, Lin Hao hesitated. Xiao Yan's status was noble, praised by princesses, and he was the lord of the boundless fire domain. If anything happened during the mission, it could spell trouble for Lin Hao. Don't worry. Xiao Yan reassured him, then disappeared into the crowd alone. I hope this guy succeeds. Even if he can't assassinate Lin Fengya, any useful clues would be enough, Lin Hao muttered. He then headed to an inn in the city to set up a formation in case of sudden changes. I can't summon dark nether soldiers here, so I'll have to do it myself. I'm at the late 5-star Do Xian stage. As long as I don't encounter a perfected 6-star Do Xian, I can retreat unharmed. If it's a 7-star Do Xian, my chances of escape are only about 30%, Xiao Yan thought to himself. The strong cultivators here practiced a strange wood attribute, making them unpredictable. Heavenly Abyss City continued to thrive, and during the day, Xiao Yan didn't make any rash moves. After circling the royal palace multiple times to gather information, he decided to stay at an inn. At night, Xiao Yan donned a black robe, surrounded by the unique ghostly aura of ghost-faced soul flame, and quietly left his room. He climbed onto the roof and silently made his way toward the palace. The night in Heavenly Abyss City was quiet, the moon hanging high in the sky, casting white beams of light that made the city feel mysterious. However, the palace had an oppressive atmosphere. The aura here feels off. Even if Lin Fengya is really a cripple, he should still possess some special wood attribute power. I can't sense anything even after using all my soul power, Xiao Yan thought, lying low against a wall, blending into the shadows. His eyes scanned the palace, and he noticed several shadowy figures lurking around, like venomous snakes hiding in the night. They were vigilantly watching their surroundings. I'll have to see for myself what secrets this palace holds. The soul power spread like a tidal wave, once again confirming that there were no 7-star Do Xian experts within the palace. Xiao Yan, moving like a ghost, slowly advanced deeper into the palace. At this moment, Xiao Yan was still cautiously infiltrating the palace. The palace towered into the clouds, its structure stacking in circular layers like several suns, luxurious beyond imagination. Infiltrating it took quite some time, and within, unspeakable events were unfolding. In the central courtyard of the palace's core residence, Lord Gamma, this is a supplement specially delivered by the prince. During these trying times, we hope you won't hold the prince's mistakes against him. A shadow slowly appeared in the courtyard, holding a plate of fragrant medicinal liquid and respectfully addressing the man before him, whose mood fluctuated like the color of the sea. Lin Fengya, this despicable man, isn't even worth being called livestock. Gamma sneered. We've spent decades secretly helping him, and when he no longer needs us, he discards us without a second thought. Behind our backs, he has been colluding with the Soul Hall. If I hadn't found out, we would have been kept in the dark, sacrificing ourselves for him. Gamma, you must know that the Soul Hall and us are natural enemies. I'm sure the prince is aware of this, right? Gamma suddenly waved his hand, knocking the precious medicinal liquid to the ground. When Soul Flame and Soul Wuji hunted him down, he was conveniently saved by Lin Fengya. However, Gamma soon discovered Lin Fengya's dealings with the Soul Hall. The location of the Devil's Nest had been intentionally leaked by Lin Fengya to the Soul Hall and the Holy See. This was to ensure that the Devil Fruit would ripen and eliminate anyone who knew the true story. Unfortunately, Xiao Yan had disrupted their plans, and now not only had they failed to obtain the Devil Fruit, but Gamma had also developed a strong aversion to him. Lord, please rest easy. In a few days, the prince will personally escort you to the election ceremony. We hope that, at that time, you will contribute the Devil Fruit, and the prince will definitely not treat you unfairly. As soon as the words were spoken, the shadow moved swiftly and vanished, leaving the empty courtyard behind. Lin Fengya, you think your little tricks can escape my eyes? Although you have protection from Butler Tian and your influence in the Devil Sea, allowing us to study the Devil Fruit in peace, the death of my teacher and many fellow disciples is entirely your fault. Before his death, my teacher said there was a better choice for the Devil Fruit. If you show no mercy, don't blame me for being heartless. I've already hidden the 2 Devil Fruits in a place where you'll never find them. Shiao? Gamma let out an eerie laugh, sending a chill down anyone's spine. Creak. The door closed as Butler Tian exited, but the courtyard was sealed with a powerful imprisoning barrier. It was clear that Gamma had become a caged bird. How's the progress, Butler Tian? 2 black figures approached as the door opened. Keep an eye on him. He is the only one who knows the whereabouts of the Devil Fruit. And as the prince said, other strong experts will soon arrive to intercept. We cannot afford any mistakes. Butler Tian circled around cautiously. Understood. The 2 figures nodded slightly, fully aware of the gravity of the situation. Whoosh! In an instant, Butler Tian's figure dissolved into black smoke and vanished. Come out. I've already found you. As soon as Butler Tian disappeared, a subtle wriggling appeared on the palace's walls, and immediately, 2 cold, sinister gazes shot out. Discovered, huh? Two experts at the peak of 6-star Do Xian. Quite the grand gesture. Xiao Yan had initially intended to follow Butler Tian, but, in the process, inadvertently revealed his presence as his aura shifted. Your aura isn't weak. I wonder who sent you. The two shadows sneered in unison, addressing Xiao Yan, who was dressed in black. Who sent me isn't important. The important thing is that, in the next moment, you will turn to dust. Xiao Yan's voice was cold as he emerged from the wall. At the same time, a pink energy ripple surged, enveloping the core courtyard entirely. Domain? You've walked right into a trap, idiot. Seeing Xiao Yan make the first move, the two exchanged glances. Xiao Yan's aura was vaguely at the 5-star level, and they couldn't understand who gave him the audacity to invade the depths of the royal palace. This isn't a place you should be. Once you die, we will skin and bone you piece by piece, crafting the finest sculptures from your remains. Linen, take action. Capture him alive. With a command, the two figures shot out like arrows from a bow, their killing intent exploding like venomous snakes. Fire. Xiao Yan's power surged within him as he utilized his domain and the flame-swallowing technique, boosting himself to the peak of 6-star Do Xian, his strength now on par with his opponents. This guy. Once we capture him, the two of us will interrogate him thoroughly before sending him to the prince's palace. Swoosh. Seeing Xiao Yan's posture, the two of them sneered with ill intentions. Palace. It seems there is indeed something more to this place. We can't waste any more time. Let's finish this quickly. A cold glint flashed in Xiao Yan's eyes as amber flames began to rise from his body, spreading outward like a slowly blooming sun. Something's wrong. What kind of flames are these? How can they burn through our Do cores? At this moment, Lin En and Lin Feng's expressions grew vacant. For a moment, their pupils reflected the amber flames, and they couldn't help but exclaim, "Immortal soul!" Ghostly echoing heavenly illusions. Just as the two of them were stunned, a wave of soul power surged from the 3 layers of Xiao Yan's spirit palace, like a storm crashing toward them, releasing crisp sounds that attacked their soul seas. The soul sea is the weakest part of the human defense system. While a direct attack there won't cause instant death, the intense pain can cause temporary disorientation, and in a battle, even a single second can be enough to determine the outcome. This is bad. Power of wood blade. However, as expected of two perfected 6-star Do Xian experts, they quickly regained their focus. In the same instant, before Xiao Yan's next attack could land, their bodies moved sharply, unleashing waves of green energy that surged like spring water, filled with a powerful life force, and charged toward Xiao Yan. King's Seal. Xiao Yan remained calm, his hand once again transforming. A massive energy palm strike, shaped like a descending mountain, clashed with their wood blades with immense force. Boom! Faced with Xiao Yan's relentless attacks, Lord Lin and had no choice but to take things seriously. After the amplification from their domains, Xiao Yan's power and attacks were now powerful enough to make them truly feel the threat of death. Sacred flame. Be suppressed. As soon as the two thought they could take a breath after withstanding his numerous attacks, Xiao Yan soared into the air, like the supreme emperor he was. The amber flames shot toward them, leaving them no chance to struggle. The two were immediately bound by the amber soul flame, unable to move an inch. Who would have thought that these two perfected 6-star Do Xian experts would be unable to even withstand 10 moves in Xiao Yan's hands? Although their underestimation played a part, Xiao Yan's unique soul power and sacred flame were enough to completely crush others of the same level.